Welcome back to the channel with Mofado and Joyce.
Joyce.
In this video, we're going to talk about the real cost of starting a home care business. Now, let me start by saying that we've had a lot of conversations with many agency owners and many people that are aspiring agency owners, right?
Yes.
Over the years. And we've noticed a pattern here. The pattern has been questions that come to us and say, how much does it cost to start a home care agency? And most people think that the most important thing is money. We disagree with that. And I believe that money is just one of those costs, but there are at least 2 or 3 other costs. And we're going to talk about those costs, the real costs, in this video. Secondly, let me start by saying that a lot of these people that we have conversations with, they are also indecisive. Some come to us and say, hey, I'm looking to start my home care agency. Or you talk to people that have been trying for the last 3 years or for the last 5 years. Maybe they've already started getting an LLC. They have the LLC already. They've applied for a license. They've gotten their license for Medicare license, for example. And they've completed that entire process. But now they're just holding on to paperwork. But to me, it's not a real business.
No, it's not. But part of it has to do with fear as well.
That's right. That's right. Fear is one thing that's holding a lot of people back. And it's pretty unfortunate because indecision is still a decision, guys. Whether you decide to do it, whether you decide not to do it, you're still making a decision either way. So before you know it, you will wake up 5 years from now and you'll still be stuck. Or even 10 years from now, God forbid, you'll still be stuck. So I want to reiterate that really important point, which is indecision is still a decision. So let's say that you choose to explore starting a home care business and then you don't do anything about it. Guess what? You've made a decision not to do anything about it. The inability to make a decision is in itself still a decision. So either way, you'll be stuck.
You'll be stuck, yes.
And time doesn't wait for anybody.
Time waits for no man.
Correct. So let me talk about the 3 main costs of starting a home care business, which a lot of people think it's money, but
Money is one of them.
Money is just one of them. But there are 2 other important costs that a lot of people don't consider. Cost number 1 is time, like you just mentioned.
Yes.
Time waits for no man. There are numerous times where I postponed something and then I wake up a week after procrastinating and then I'm frustrated because time has passed. If I had taken action on that said thing that I wanted to do a week before, I'd be much happier this week.
Yes.
For example, what's one of those things? For example, working out, right? There are days where I skip the gym, maybe for a day or 2, and then I get anxiety because I don't feel good anymore. Because 2 days have passed and I feel terrible, but time waits for no one. And there's nothing worse than, let's say, you being a registered nurse and you look back in time and you discover that you've been doing this job for 20 years. And the only thing you have to show for it is maybe a luxury car, maybe
a house.
Mm-hmm. But you don't own that house. The bank owns that house.
Oh, because you're still paying mortgage.
You're still paying for everything. So do you really own it, really? Or are you a slave to the banks? That's how I see it, right? So there's nothing worse than waking up with all these liabilities after 20 years of hard labor in whatever industry that you're in right now. It doesn't have to be healthcare. It can be anything.
Anything, yes.
Right? Maybe you are in corporate America, maybe you're an accountant and you've been always thinking about starting your own business. And you've been thinking about it for, let's say, 10 years.
Thinking about it, talking about it, but zero action.
Zero action.
Yes.
And then you wake up 20 years after the fact, then you discover, oh my goodness, this passion that I've had for 20 years, I haven't really taken action on it. And you start to panic.
Because now you're thinking of the time that has been wasted, looking at it that you really don't have time left.
You really don't have time left.
Yes.
And it also happens, unfortunately, even in the dating space, where a lot of people waste each other's time going on pointless dates.
Yeah.
So I know you can relate to this. A lot of people go on pointless dates, wasting each other's time, and then you find like the guy's wasting the lady's time because the lady needs to get married, she needs to start a family, and the guy doesn't see that, and he's just wasting her time. And then vice versa, maybe the guy marries her, and then the lady wastes his time because she's not really genuinely in love with this guy in that marriage. Then the marriage falls apart. So it goes both ways.
It goes both ways.
Time wasting.
That's what it is. They think they have the time, but time is not there for anybody. Just look at, for example, have you woken up one day and you wondered, okay, how did time just fly? This happens every day.
Yeah,
Every single day
every
I feel
day.
that way. Like, where did the time go?
Every day I feel
Are you
that way.
kidding me? It's already 1 p.m. or 3 p.m. Where did the time go? You have to treat time as if you're just living today.
You have to treat time with a sense of urgency, is what you're
Yes,
trying to say.
exactly. Like there's a saying that goes by, procrastination is a thief of time, and that is so true. When you keep procrastinating, before you know it, time is gone.
All right, so when it comes to time, right, there's so many things that I even notice about myself that I know I can sense that I'm getting older. So I look at myself in the mirror and I see myself. I don't see myself the same guy that I was just 2 years ago because of time, because time keeps moving. And I'm sure you've experienced this where you look in the mirror and you start to panic. You're like, oh my God, I'm not that young man anymore. I'm not that young lady anymore. That's because of time. Unfortunately, a lot of people put money over time. It should be the other way around.
That's true.
Because with money, you can lose money and you can always make money back through working overtime. But you can never buy time. Ever, ever, ever. Cost number 2 is energy, which is tied to time.
Time, yes.
Ooh, oh boy. There were days where I could party all night in my younger years, party all night and be able to recover very quickly and then even go to work the next day, even when I was hungover. Nowadays, there's no way. I don't even party anymore because I'm trying to conserve every ounce of energy is precious.
Right.
Every ounce of energy is precious.
Because now you see the importance and the value of time, and that's why you can't really waste any time or you can't waste your energy.
Yeah.
So you have to use your time very wisely.
And I'd even say like the part of energy goes 2 parts, right? It's physical energy and mental energy.
Mental energy, yes.
I think mental energy is even worse. Would you agree?
I agree.
Mental energy is something that you have to protect because there will be so many people that come into your space, haters, naysayers, distractors, mostly haters. They will come into your life and trying to cause problems.
Cause problems,
and
cause
suck your energy.
Yes.
And suck your energy, your mental energy. And you need to avoid those people like the plague. Yeah.
It's
so
true.
Protect your energy at all costs. Yes, with time you cannot get back, but at least with energy, there are certain things you can do.
Like for example, going to work out does help to boost, energy levels.
Your energy.
Because even sometimes when you're stressed out and you can go out and take a walk or get on a treadmill, that really helps you like to feel better and just to have energy to get things done.
That's right.
Because stress sometimes does make you not want to do anything. You get depressed and you just want to sleep or stuff like that.
It's something you always tell me, that people are the main source of problems.
It is so true. I'm not lying. Am I lying?
No, you're not lying. People are the main source of problems and energy vampires. Have you ever heard of that saying?
Maybe energy vampires now.
Oh yes, energy vampires. Have you ever had that friend when you were younger that every time they were around you, you felt your energy being drained. You felt exhausted.
Yes, I've had more than one.
Yeah, me too. And ever since you cut them out of your life, how do you feel now?
Oh, I feel at peace.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, it's true. Sometimes could be even family members,
Oh
that
yeah.
every time you're around them, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, you don't feel right.
Yes, yes. So I understand what you mean.
That's
You
right.
have to protect your energy.
Protect your energy at all
Yes.
costs. So you want to be protective of that because you value your time even more as you get
More
older.
as you get older.
Worse when you start having a family and kids.
And kids,
Oh,
yes.
you become even more ruthless
Ruthless
with
with
your
your
time and
time.
energy.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, even people who got kids and families know what we're talking about.
Priorities also
Shift.
change. Yes, they shift.
And the third and last cost is money, the least important of the three, to be honest. Because, like I said, money, you can always make it back. Energy, you can make it back, but not as much as the money.
As the money.
Right. So it's a priority list, right?
Right.
And money's at the bottom. Also, with money, you can always borrow money.
Yes.
You can always work overtime.
Yes.
But the biggest cost within that money is inflation. We're going through it right now. $1,000 3 years ago is not the same as
As right
$1,000
now.
this year in 2023. It's
Right.
not.
The value has gone down.
The value has gone down. The purchasing power of $1,000 3 years ago is probably like $900 purchasing power here because of inflation. Food is expensive.
Gas is expensive.
Gas is expensive. Utilities are crazy.
Even just traveling is very expensive.
Traveling is expensive.
Like what I mean by that, traveling by air is very expensive.
Everything is expensive now.
It's not only in the United States, all over the world.
Yeah, inflation is through the roof because the US government printed too much money. I mean, that's all economics. The government printed out way too much money and everybody had too much money and flashing money everywhere. They had to increase interest rates to bring down inflation. It's a whole mess. But anyway, so those are three main costs of starting a home care agency. Real costs. Okay. Now let's talk about solutions that can solve some of these three costs that you will incur when starting a home care business. Solution number one is taking massive action. What do I mean by taking massive action? It means that as soon as you get that idea, you have to immediately start working on it. How many times have I come up with an idea and then we discuss that idea and then you agree on it, I agree on it, then we refine that idea. Maybe I take a week to refine it. And then the very next week, I'm already executing on that idea. Many times.
Many times we've done that. And also, what helps with that is you write it down. If you can get yourself like a vision board where you can set it somewhere, maybe in your room, or if you have an office in your house, you can put up your vision board and write some of the important things.
I have a list on my phone that I'm always adding to. The most beautiful part about my checklist is that I look at it, let's say on a Monday, and then it's got all these things that feel very daunting. And then on a Friday, I look at that list, I'm like, oh, I only got one thing left.
Oh,
it feels
amazing.
So good.
It feels good.
Because it means I've taken massive action.
Massive action, yes.
For example, even doing these videos, that's massive action. It's a lot of effort. Because first you got to think about the title, then you got to shoot the video, then you got to edit it.
You got to find time to shoot the video.
Then you got to find time. Massive action is the key to success. And solution number two is speed. There's a concept called terminal velocity, which is when NASA is launching a spaceship into outer space. So think about Elon Musk with his new rockets. When he has to launch them into outer space, those rockets have to go at a certain speed. They have to reach a certain speed in order for them to get into orbit. Because if they don't go at that speed, the gravity of the Earth is going to drag that rocket down back into Earth, and the rocket is going to crash. So think about that concept every time you think about starting a business, which is taking massive action and a very high speed. So in the concept that we were talking about here earlier is that as soon as we come up with an idea, the idea is great, we execute very, very quickly. What happens is when you sit on that idea, the concept, your mind has a weird way of starting to look for all the things that could go wrong.
Yes. What if this? What if that? There's always going to be a lot of what if.
There's always going to be a whole bunch of what ifs. I do the same thing. Remember,
Yes.
every time I had to make a trip somewhere, I had to do something, I start coming to you with all these weird thoughts in my mind and saying, oh, what if this happens? What if this happens? Then you have to almost talk me off the ledge and be like, don't worry, everything's going to go well. Just take action. And
take the massive action.
And you're right. Every time that I've always hesitated on taking action and moving quickly on something, you would remind me that, hey, just do it. And then I do it and it works out perfectly. There's somebody that said that we suffer more in our imagination than in real life.
Why that happens is because part of fear.
Yes. Fear is crazy.
Yes.
Fear will dominate your mind and it will start coming up false evidence of appearing real.
Yes, that's
what
it is. Yes.
Your brain starts to find all these things, negative things.
That's the devil.
Yeah, that's the devil, right?
That's what he does.
That's what the devil does.
It creates fear in your mind.
Yes. So you have to outwit the devil. You have to play, you know what I'm saying? You have to outwit the devil. And the way to do that is take massive action at high speed. Because it doesn't give the devil enough time.
Yeah.
You have to work overtime because the devil is working hard. And most people think the devil is outside of them. No, the devil is in your mind too.
Yeah, the devil likes to play mind games a lot. So, yeah.
Telling you you're not good enough. Telling you don't have enough money. Yeah, of course we don't have enough money. Nobody ever has enough money for anything.
There's no such a thing. And you can't say that you're going to spend how many years trying to save, because let me tell you something. The more you're trying to save, there's always going to be something that you will have to spend that money on, you know?
Always.
Emergencies and all kind of stuff. So,
always. Fear is a crazy thing. And point number 3 on how to solve your problems with the real costs of starting a home care agency is discipline. I think discipline is underrated.
Yes, it is.
Most people think that they need to be motivated. I think motivation is trash. Here's why I say that. How many times have you watched, let's say, a motivational video, or you watch somebody doing something great that motivated you, then you feel good
at that moment.
At that moment, you're like, man, I can do it too. And then by the next day, you've completely forgotten about it. Then you're sitting on the couch, you're still depressed. But discipline is everything. What I mean by that is find something, whether it's reading a Bible verse a day, whether it's praying every single day, whether it's hitting the gym every single day. Find a routine that forces you to be disciplined.
Discipline, yes.
I'll give you my tips. I've come up with a routine where every single morning I do a 1-minute prayer, right? I've never been a very religious person, but I have to be that way because religion teaches discipline as well. I'm not saying you have to be religious like me. That's not what I'm saying at all. You can do whatever you want. Figure out some way to be disciplined, but this is what works for me, okay? I do one short 1-minute prayer every single day, and I've actually bought a prayer book for myself and my wife, and I read it every single morning as I wake up. Instead of checking my phone, right? I read one prayer, and then as soon as I finish reading my 1-minute prayer, go have my coffee, and then straight to the gym. Whether I'm in the gym for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, it doesn't matter. The point is I'm consistent with 2 things every single day.
Every single day. That's discipline right
That's discipline right there. Whether you feel like it or not, because your feelings will always be unreliable.
Okay, so another way of setting up discipline is by creating, let me say, a timetable whereby you write the activities that have to be done for the day, you know, when you wake up till the end of the day. So if you have a timetable, let me say Monday through Sunday with activities, you know, every single day, then that's going to set the discipline.
Yeah, discipline is super important.
Yeah. For example, when I was little, we used to have like kind of like a timetable for meals. So Mondays, we know what we're going to eat on Monday. We know what you're going to eat on Tuesday till Sunday.
That's a cool thing.
Yes.
How come we don't have that right now?
We did that, but you guys got bored with the same food every week.
I wasn't that disciplined then. So can we bring it back? I like it.
Yes. Okay.
Cool. All right, cool. I love it. Find something that will bring discipline into your life, whether it's going for a jog, like you said,
Yes.
going for a walk every day,
Every
going
day.
for a run,
Yes.
clears your mind as well. And then maybe it could be cooking.
Mhm.
You know, some people just love the idea of, you know, being disciplined, knowing, okay, I'm going to cook this today and because I know it's good for my health. You know, anything. Like, it doesn't even have to be cooking. It doesn't have to be working out. Find something.
Find something.
Yeah,
Yeah, that will help you to have that discipline every single day.
that's right.
Yes.
So I hope you got some value from this video. So there is a course that we created on how to get affluent home care clients within your city or your state. Right now, in your area, there are people that are searching for services that you have to offer. So they're going into Google and searching for the services that you have to offer. So we help you to ensure that your business shows up as they're searching for these services on Google. So preview our course in the description of this video. And if you still have any questions, there's also a link for you to schedule some time to talk to us, and we'll give you a $150 discount on the cost of the course. All right, I'll see you in the next video, and peace.
Peace.